So today we're going to be interviewing my friend Rachel Rose, who has been an acupuncturist for a number of years. She happens to be a very good friend of mine, and I've known her quite a few years, and she's probably one of the best acupuncturists I know. Rachel Rose practices a technique for cosmetic acupuncture, facelifts and tummy tucks and breast lifts. So we're here today with Rachel Rose. Thank you for being here with us today, and let me interview you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So probably on the most basic of questions I'd like to ask you is, how long has cosmetic acupuncture been in existence?
Well, there are some records back in the Egyptian times with cosmetic acupuncture. Also in China, the royalty would have the acupuncturists do the cosmetic acupuncture on the concubines and the queens, and even some of the men in the royal house would get cosmetic acupuncture. So it's something for the very wealthy to help give them a lift to their complexion and prevent wrinkles and eye puffiness and just reduce the signs of aging.
Interesting. So how long has acupuncture been around in general?
So acupuncture, they found needles 4,000 years old, stone needles, bone needles. There was that man they excavated from 5,000 years ago that had tattoo marks along his spine that correspond to acupuncture points. For the kind of pain that he had upon autopsy, they found that he had some internal illness, and the points that were tattooed on his back corresponded to healing the pain associated with those particular illnesses. So it's been around for thousands of years. It's the oldest form of healthcare on our planet that we know of.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty amazing. So getting into more of the acupuncture itself, can you give me like a theory behind it, the philosophy behind it?
Sure. Acupuncture works by working with your body's chi or energy, and it works by, the cosmetic acupuncture works by lifting up your body's own chi or energy. And we can feel our body's chi with a little experiment. So if you clap your hands and run them together, great. And you at home can do this too. And then get it nice and warm, and then pull your hands apart just a little bit. And you can feel maybe a tingling feeling or a warm feeling. You might feel the heat. If you're trying to feel it by looking at your hands, look away, because you're looking is using a different sense than feeling. So it kind of distracts. So you can probably feel that. And you can move your hands apart and
kind
together.
Of feels like a magnet, sort of.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's your body's chi. And it flows along these organized channels and pathways called meridians. And you may have seen the image of this acupuncture doll before. And there's lines on the body, goes on the surface of the body, like this. And then the chi travels along these lines of energy. And it also delves deep into different organ systems. And if you notice on the face, there's lots of meridians. And as we age, our chi tends to sink to the lower part of our body. And by doing acupuncture, it helps raise that chi up. So that's kind of the premise of what the cosmetic acupuncture protocol does, is help raise our chi. It also helps heal us from the inside out, because this chi doesn't just flow on the surface, it delves deep into different organ systems, into every cell in our body. That's why we also can feel it outside of our body. We put our hands like this, because this is like the main pathways they go to. But then the chi disperses out through our tissue and goes a little bit outside our body too.
When you're talking about outside the body, would that be considered the aura?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. The aura is a different types of science, and it doesn't really have a lot to do with Chinese medicine, although there are some acupuncturists that do work with auras too. The chi, actually, the physical chi just goes a little bit outside of our body.
Interesting. So how long have you been an acupuncturist, Rachel?
I've been in practice for 7 years.
Wow.
I went to Southwest Acupuncture College in Boulder. It's a 3.5-year program. It's a master's degree program, and that's my background.
Nice. And how long have you been practicing cosmetic acupuncture?
I've been practicing cosmetic acupuncture for 6 years. After I graduated, I did the May-Zen cosmetic acupuncture protocol with Denise Ellinger. And
so what is the May-Zen technique?
The May-Zen technique has the patient come in. You have a regular acupuncture appointment where we do the diagnosing, where we look at your tongue, feel your pulse, feel your abdomen, and this gives your acupuncturist a good sense of how your body's chi is flowing and what's the best possible way to treat you. You will get a regular acupuncture treatment. In addition to that, we will treat the body part we're working at for cosmetic acupuncture, which the cosmetic face protocol has very small needles placed superficially in and around your face. There's about 80 needles that we do put in your face.
Wow. Does it hurt?
The cosmetic acupuncture can hurt a little bit. They'll feel like a little pinching with the technique. So the face points can be a little intense, but it is quite effective. So most of my patients are willing to go through with it to get it.
And how long is a treatment last? Just like how many minutes would you leave those needles in?
The needles are left in for about 35 to 40 minutes. The whole acupuncture appointment is an hour. The first time you come in, your visit will be an hour and a half because we need to do your whole health history. But after that, the visits are about an hour. You come in and we cleanse your face and we do the points. And then after that, we take the needles out and we'll often put like a nourishing mask on and do a 5-minute facial massage after to help really bring that chi up and have the treatment really hold.
Interesting. So when you are applying the needles and stuff, is it helping to rebuild collagen?
That's part of the theory because the needles are put in, so many needles are put in so superficially. Part of the theory is that maybe it's causing this micro trauma, which causes collagen to break down in very thin fibers through the deeper lines in the face, and we think that's why the fine lines disappear, the deeper lines become less, and that's what we think the lines improve. But it's really more than that because there's actually a lifting that occurs. The lids get lifted, the jawline gets lifted, through the zygomatic arch, things get lifted and more defined. The cheekbones become more defined as they did when you were younger. And that really doesn't have anything to do with collagen. It has to do with just the chi is raising up.
The general lifting effect of it.
Right. And the same with the breast lift, too. The breast lift, we work with, there's only about 50 needles in the breast tissue, and the smaller cup size actually become bigger. I've had someone go from barely an A cup to a B cup is one of the biggest success stories that I had.
That's pretty impressive.
And that technique isn't like collagen, it's more of just the lifting and the pumping that occurs.
Interesting. So in addition to doing facial lift acupuncture, Rachel obviously does breast lift and also tummy tucks. Is that correct?
It is correct. The most success I've had is with the breast lift and the face lift. The tummy tucks, it really depends a lot on how much the patient's going to do outside of the acupuncture treatment room. I find there's a lot of food allergies, and if people are not willing to cut out food allergens, then the tummy tuck actually doesn't work as well. When people are willing to cut out food allergies, we can really help with that loose skin after you've lost a lot of weight, or the stretch marks that you can get after like giving birth, or like stretch marks from losing weight. Had really good results with doing scar treatments on people that have hysterectomy scars or C-section scars. I've had a lot of results with that. Even like appendectomy scars too, bigger scars. I've had really good results with that kind of treatment.
Interesting. So what would be like the typical protocol for somebody coming in to have some cosmetic acupuncture?
It's a 5-week protocol. You need to come in twice a week for 5 weeks. The visits cost more than regular acupuncture because it is a longer treatment and it requires a lot more needles in my time. It's $120 per visit. You can purchase all 10 visits at once, and one of those visits will be free, so it ends up being $1,080. The results can last up to 6 to 10 years, and that is with regular maintenance visits. And
Which-
the regular maintenance visits, you come every 3 to 4 months to get your like 1 to 3 tune-up visits, we call them.
And that would still be like an hour.
Yeah, it's an hour, and then they're $120.
And it can last 6 to 8 years.
6 to 10 years, actually.
6 to 10 years. Wow,
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
And I've been doing this practice for 6 years, and I still have my people coming when I first started, and they do look great, and they notice a difference. And when we do the tune-up, they have a boost right away. The first 3 visits, you may notice a difference, you may not, as far as your treatment is concerned. Like the less lines and the deeper wrinkles, you won't notice the change in the deeper wrinkles till about the 5th visit. It really depends on your age, your lifestyle, genetics, sun damage, how much water you drink, the kind of food you eat. Those are different factors that involve like how quickly you'll see results and what kind of results that you'll get.
Is there recommendations that you would make for what type of skincare products or what somebody should or shouldn't be doing after they've had a series of treatments?
You know what I found is that most people that are coming to me for this protocol have a pretty good skincare regime because they've been trying a lot of different products for a while to see what's the best for them. If they don't have good products, or if there's a lot of parabens and all like not so like chemicals in them, which is not good for the chi and not good for the like overall health of the skin, then I'll recommend a natural product line. Lily Flora is one company I recommend. Also, I've had some people use Arbonne, and they've changed their formulations so they don't have any parabens in their skincare products anymore. So that's another product line I recommend.
Nice. What are some typical results that you would expect for somebody to notice?
Great question. So what people can notice is that the fine lines around their eyes will become significantly decreased, and depending on the age of the patient, may completely disappear. The lines here can become significantly diminished or disappear. There's also a lifting of the lid, and that crepiness over the eye becomes less. As we age, you put on our eyeshadow, and it's like the
It's pulling and dry.
Yes, and that becomes less. The skin actually gets nourished. People will notice usually after the 2nd or 3rd visit when they wash their face, their skin actually feels better because the pores get tighter. Also, the jawline can become a little bit lifted too.
So it acts more like a rubber band, sort of snapping back and having some structure behind it instead of just it being superficial.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's beauty from the inside out.
Right. You can still do the same type of protocol for a man too, correct?
Absolutely. And I have actually treated many men with cosmetic acupuncture. I do work with a lot of men's health issues, and so because of that, I think those patients are here and they see the brochure and they really like it, and the men respond really quickly, more quickly than the women.
Is there a reason for that? Would you say?
I think because men just generally have more chi, and I think the testosterone has something to do with the collagen. I'm not sure what, but I know that every man I've ever worked on responds quicker.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, say somebody who is in their mid-30s, would that be a good time to start cosmetic acupuncture?
It's an excellent time to start cosmetic acupuncture because when we get usually mid-30s, we're starting to notice we're looking in the mirror and things might not be as tight, or we might notice a couple of lines. It's a really super time to start getting cosmetic acupuncture. And the only real side effects that you can have from cosmetic acupuncture are you could get small bruising because we're doing so many needles in the face. Some people have reported headaches, but usually within the next visit, I figured out why that happened, and we can do some balancing points so that doesn't happen again. Other things that happen is eyesight improves, hearing can improve.
Wow.
I've had people with tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears, completely go away. If people have, especially our older patients with dry mouth, they don't have dry mouth anymore.
Really?
So these are some of the things that can happen.
So these are other benefits from acupuncture, not just for cosmetic purposes. So pretty interesting information.
Yeah. Allergies too. Helps with allergy symptoms, itchy eyes, itchy nose, sneezing.
Wow. So for everyday kind of stressors that we have, it's most effective for all of the above. So